budgeting, or funding rather, for the library budget. That is a council decision. However, the individual line items certainly are a decision of the library board. In terms of the cut itself, the library board members, with the advice of library administration, went through the suggested reduction in the area of $400,000. Administration proposed different cuts from what I had originally proposed, which is certainly administration's right to do with the library. The board supported those cuts. I confirmed at that point in time that it would not result in any closures or any reduction in hours. This was the March meeting. That was confirmed to me, that no branches would be closed and no hours would be reduced. Going forward to the April meeting, on the agenda appeared options with respect to closing the South Walkerville branch. Certainly was a surprise, but I can tell you, all of my colleagues, that in terms of the closure of branches, there is a general idea or a consensus, I believe, on the part of the library board, based on what I've seen in board meetings, that we have too many branches in this community. It's not a contention that I support. I don't believe we do, but certainly there's a move to reduce the number of branches in the city of Windsor. So that is what is driving this process forward. It's not with respect to the budget. It was portrayed to me that it was not related to the budget. I was advised that this was simply a situation where, in comparison to other municipalities, we have more branches. They're looking to reduce those branches and consolidate with our Park branch the activities of South Walkerville.
What I'm trying to drill down on is what kind of a public process was applied to make this decision. And if this was on the April agenda that identified potential branch closures, was this an agenda that was made public to the broader community? Was there an opportunity for the community to be involved or attend this meeting? If not, I'm going to submit that there needs to be some discussion on process to divest or close down a major public asset requires, at the bare minimum, public input. And from what I understand tonight now, it's further made my point, I think, that didn't happen. So
in terms of inviting the members of your library board to come and explain what factors have come into play to change the decision in 3 weeks. For the reference, that there was an understanding that there would not be any library branches closed, and now we have the closure of a library branch, with the result that Ward 3 now becomes the only ward in the city, not kind of the central library on the main street, but not a library. Now, I'm all for consolidation and everything else, but then it should be part of an overall plan. So I'd certainly like to have some discussion on what that overall plan is, why the decision was made before the strategic planning session, which is coming up next month, and what other closings or consolidations are they also looking at. I think this is a discussion which has to take place, and I would certainly like to have them invited to come here and explain that. Because had we known that the library branch was going to be closed, perhaps some of us would not have granted additional funding. Because I thought that additional funding, part of that was to alleviate the fact that some branches may have in fact been closed. And it was very clear in that joint meeting, it was very clear, the understanding. Although there was, the point was made, there was no guarantee. It was very clear the understanding was that no library branches would be closed. So to do so, in the absence of the CEO, who I understand is on, in the absence of the strategic planning session, in the absence of overall plan of consolidation, I guess I'm looking for an explanation as to how they came up with this.